Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And guys, if you thought you needed another reason not to go to New York City, well, here's one more, because we've got a Second Amendment guy who gets arrested for defending a woman who was being assaulted, and he's got a stiffer penalty. Yeah. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below, and send this one out because it highlights the insanity, and I can't wait to hear what you guys say in the comments field below. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. All right, my brothers and sisters, the fanaticism against anything with a gun is really on display in this story. For example, check this out. Man charged with firing gun in subway station to stop a mugging. John Rote fired 2 shots in an effort to stop a homeless man from robbing a woman at a Manhattan station, officials said. So I'm just going to take you guys back into yesteryear. It was like 20 years ago. I was like, younger. This used to be the kind of thing that you'd say, hey, your parents raised you right. You did a good job. You defended a woman you didn't know from someone mugging her or a homeless person assaulting her. Yet now you get arrested. So the exact same people who are raising all of an uproar about the Rahimi case and how about the rights of women and domestic violence and all the things that are causing the issue at hand, all of a sudden don't matter anymore. You brought a gun onto the subway. Ooh, you can't be having that. Because after all, the Violence Against Women Act, that's only when we want to talk about it, not when it actually happens in a real world and a gun prevents the crime. Let me show you these details. This is gonna boggle your mind. A Queens man who fired 2 shots in a Manhattan subway station in an effort to stop a homeless man from robbing a woman was charged on Wednesday with weapons counts and other crimes, officials said. Again, upside down clown world. The man, John Rote, was awaiting arraignment Wednesday night on charges that included criminal possession of a firearm, criminal possession of a weapon, reckless endangerment, and menacing, officials said. It was not clear whether he had a lawyer. This is the guy who defended a woman from being mugged and assaulted by a homeless man. That's the thanks. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court sure is evil with that whole Rahimi thing, right? It's so twisted and I can't say that. It's backwards. It's backwards. You guys can figure out what I was about to say. So let me show you what this guy, Mr. Roche, was doing. The guy who assaulted a woman and was mugging her. So Mr. Roche, 49, the homeless guy, was described by police and transit officials as a swiper, someone who, in one version of the fare evasion problem that continues to bedevil the system, holds emergency gates open in hopes of receiving a small fee from those who walk through. So he's extorting money if you go through the emergency exits. Come on. But that wasn't enough, because it turns out he had to have that money. He had to assault a woman and mug her. Richard Davey, the president of the New York City Transit, which operates the subway, said that in this instance, Mr. Roche began to argue with the woman and appeared to try to steal her purse. Okay? At that point, Mr. Davey said, another customer pulled out a gun and tried to intervene. Saw something wrong, had a firearm, now against the law in the subway because sensitive places, because that's a big deal. Apparently it's not a very sensitive place if you're getting robbed, mugged, or anything else, or thrown on the rails. But another customer intervened, and the audacity, he had a gun in a sensitive place. Meanwhile, he saved a woman from being mugged and accosted, but no big deal. Anyway, let's continue what happened here. This part I find exceedingly interesting. Mr. Davies, speaking at a news conference before Mr. Rote was arrested, described the scene as captured on the security footage as unusual and beyond the pale. The gunman, Mr. Davies, said, quote, looks very calm, pulls out a gun, fires 2 shots, puts the gun back in the bag, and walks away. He added, that is weird. It's not weird if you know your way around a firearm, you are confident with that firearm, and you are comfortable with your abilities with that firearm. You put the firearm away because it's a tool. It's just like if you would have your keys or your phone or something that you needed to accomplish a task. It's a tool. You put it away, you don't need it anymore. The entire point was there was a commission of a crime, and this guy who defended this woman is getting more criminal charges than the guy who was assaulting the woman, from the exact same people who say that the Rahimi case is about domestic abusers and the gun lobby wanting guns everywhere, and the Violence Against Women Act is going to save every woman across the board, but this is perfectly fine because you can't have guns in sensitive places. Understand how stupid this is. Anyway, got one more thing for you, because this encapsulates the entire principle pretty good. The episode was another example of how overrun with guns New York City has become, Mr. Davies said. What happens in the street can come down to our subway. We need to get a handle on the gun issue in the city. You got that out of this story? A guy's carrying a gun to protect himself and others around him. Witnesses a crime, an active commission of a crime. A man assaulting a woman, by the way, Rahimi case and the Violence Against Women Act, all the things you guys postulate all the time as the answer. Takes the gun, fires to scare someone away, doesn't even hurt anybody, puts the gun away. He gets more charges than the guy who was doing fare evasion and extortion and then tried to mug somebody. We live in a backwards world, and if you needed another reason not to go into a blue city, there's a pretty good one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you have a great Friday night, and I will see you tomorrow.